A revised letter to Angelina. Dear Angel, for the past few months, I've been pondering at night. For years I've never had the same social experiences, nor knowledge and mental processing to ever really think on my experiences and learn from them. It was only until the end of middle school that I really had gained a fraction of those abilities that I say that I possess now. From then, however, I've wasted many of my nights, whether it was playing video games till the sun came up, watching media to take my mind off of my isolated life, or spending time on Discord, playing with a group of people from across the world, playing Roblox games with never-ending drama and controversy. Mainly the last activity took up most of my nights, but the other two, and simply going to bed early due to a lack of sleep or being overtired from football filled the cracks. This combination had led me to never really spending my nighttime processing reality. This is also a note to my memoir, but this is the reason as to why I've only started authoring by fall of 2025, just past the first few weeks of school. But because I knew that I needed a somewhat quality sleep if I were to maintain my academics, health, and somewhat my sanity, I knew I had to end these habits. This also meant that on the few nights that I simply didn't sleep, or didn't sleep well, whether that was due to chronic insomnia, my ever-advancing nausea, or because of my deteriorating mind, which led to nights of either journaling, watching YouTube to forget my troubles, or for a period of time between Thanksgiving and New Year's, messaging you, Angel. I do have a confession to admit. I was always going to look for a girl to have a crush on and date. It was simply something I had already desired after being a weirdo who could never even think of dating a decent girl such as yourself. But I was always truthful, especially when I stated declarations such as, "You were always my center of attention since I first met you," or that, "You are the most attractive person in my eyes." I never tried to hold any of my truths back after I had admitted that I did have a crush on you. It was certainly a weird moment for me looking back on it, since I had wanted to wait until I was certain you were interested in me, but considering the fact that it was an hour past midnight after a terrible Christmas, and a pissy day after, it could be chalked up to pure tiredness that I didn't think straight. Looking back on it while considering my feelings at the time, it was probably good that I did get those feelings out at the time, but it did have some weird effects, such as creating an environment where the two of us kept chatting every night turn early morning until my sleep schedule was so ruined that I totally missed the first time I could see you after we both learned we liked each other. It was also the last opportunity we could have hung out outside of school or honor guard. Considering everything that befell the Pentagon after winter break, I truthfully wonder if me making it there could have salvaged relations not only between the two of us, but between the Pentagon as a whole, as so I see it. Now you may be wondering, what am I talking about? Whether it's because you think the Pentagon died with that isolated group chat, or that it is still thriving today in its new form. Truthfully, I was right when I told you that I was to be replaced by Sean, because I knew Vivi hated me, I knew me and Christian were going off a good path, and I knew Kylie was going to do absolutely nothing to help because she didn't really care. Could I have done more to aid myself? Absolutely. But I needed a slight fall from grace because I not only needed to recognize my annoying behavior, but also to the fact I was isolating myself from people I now am great friends with, and because I now know that it was going to be a dead-end path for me. Additionally, as I see it, the successor to the Pentagon which includes you, Christian, Kylie, Vivi, Sean, Danny, Melanie, Tia, and possibly others that I am missing. Anyhow, that structure is destined to collapse. Danny has isolated himself from many people due to his rudeness, tattling, ruining privileges for everyone, and more. Sean and Vivi practically touch each other under the table every day and everyone knows it. Kylie annoys many and is completely unaware at times. Christian has ruined his once perfect reputation by following you and Kylie around and is planning on separating himself to regain respect. Melanie is annoying, rude, and self-centered. Pia is rude to people she doesn't like and definitely spreads gossip. And lastly, the hegemon of the school, you Angel, have been too secretive. You've broken too many people's trusts, and while you are intelligent, kind, and ever-caring, the peers you've surrounded yourself in have created a cloud of hate for you, leaving few to respect you as it seems. I see the Pentagon to collapse or sink in on itself by the end of sophomore year, while you, Gemma, and Vivi lose your seats in student council. As for you and me, I need to apologize. While I was truthful in nearly every word after my admission of feelings for you, I had omitted much afterwards. When you told me you didn't want to date, and wanted to stay great friends, I tried to tell you that there would always be something special between us, but you tried to ignore that. The truth simply is that we got to be close friends because of our feelings for each other. When you choose to stay friends and not go further, I was able to accept no, but I never was able to articulate what I'm going to say now. I stopped talking to you because I didn't want to fool myself into thinking you wanted anything more than to be friends. When you told me that you didn't want to hear anything more about my feelings for you, or anything that you weren't comfortable with, I had realized that truth. I was wrong for just simply answering that. I was busy when you were questioning why we barely talked at that point. Even more so, it was the first ever heartbreak I ever really had, as you were my first true crush. And once you said you liked me too, I immediately thought we'd be dating and spending time together, so simply processing this entire evening was all new to me, especially without telling anyone else. My thinking is that you at some point thought something along the lines of, you know, I was never ready nor able to date you. I just didn't want to lose you, yet you crossed my boundary multiple times. And to that I respond with, you already chose the decision to end what we had when you decided, no. I just couldn't ever say that at the time. We are past the point of going back, and never again may we be friends in any capacity that we once were. That is because then I liked you, so I pushed the boundary of the friendship, and afterwards, there was simply no going back. So what now? I close with one final personal quote. Staying friends while feeling more isn't friendship. It's just a form of torture.